that's better. Getting that sound. I've got to get used to all this stuff. We're only a few days in. Hello, if you're watching for the first time. This is what I do now. When I get home from work, I work. For you lovely people, I draw Transformers. I'm a big fan, and especially of this comic, Lost Light, previously More Than Meets the Eye. Signed copy there, just so you know. It's got some great characters. I've done quite a few portraits. Sorry, I got a bit of music on, turn it down a bit, even though it is the best album of all time, Tripping Daisy. I've done quite a few portraits. I've actually changed my placeholder image for my live stream, which is just a load of the portraits that I've done previously, so I kind of don't want to cover the same ground again. Which basically means I'm trying to do some of the more obscure ones now, I guess. I'm just double checking that I'm not seeing anything coming up for my stream. Let's have a look at my channel. There we go. Yeah, apparently it's going. Okay. Logging in so I can be there for the chat. Let's look at my channel. Always forget to turn down the volume so I get to hear my voice every time. Okay, so today I'm going to do Roller. Roller, a bit of a fan favourite from what I can gather. He was, I don't want to do any spoilers. There was a whole conspiracy based around him. He's not meant to be the same character from the cartoon in the 80s, which was basically Optimus Prime's trailer. There's like in his trailer there was a little dude that came out. He was just like a buggy. I don't think he's meant to be the same character. This guy is like a powerhouse. He's huge. He's like the muscle, and he's an old friend of Optimus Prime's back in the day. I've been careful with my reference images not to give anything away in case you want to read it. Which I keep harping on about this, but you really should, because it's fantastic. Oh, actually, I didn't need to do that little thing there. I don't know if anyone here who's watching, if anyone is watching, has heard of or used Blender, the 3D package. But one of the little items that you get like a placeholder shape, so you get a sphere and a cube and a cylinder and all that. One of them is a monkey's head, and it's kind of this shape. It's not even remotely interesting, but it's just something that pops into my head. Working hard on the entertainment front to keep you entertained. It'd be better if I didn't. So, to begin with, I'm just going to get the rough shapes. We don't want to go overboard right now and put too much detail in. One thing I realised is I've started it too high up. I do try and get a bit of the shoulder area and the neck area in there as well. And the most important thing for me, at least, is that all of it's symmetrical, all of the lines meet. I think that's just like basically a bit of an obsession of mine, but that's something you're going to have to get used to if you're going to watch this. Okay, let's try this. it can be quite a fun, kind of relaxing in some ways thing to do, vector graphics, because I don't know if this is even, this might date me as far as my age goes, but is fuzzy felt still a thing? There was a toy when I was a kid called Fuzzy Felt, and it was basically just pieces of felt, and just because of the kind of, I don't know what it is. It's like the way that it wasn't static, but it was the way two types of fabric interacted. You had a board that was like a stiff fabric, and then like heads and arms and legs of characters that were made out of this kind of lighter felt, and for some reason they'd all stick down quite well. So you make little kind of collages, and I always describe vector graphics as digital fuzzy felt. There's 1,000 different ways you could say that's inaccurate, but if you did that, you'd be proving me wrong, and I don't like that, so don't. See what I want here. Oh, I've already screwed up. Wonderful. Right, let's try a different tack. I've ruined everything. That's not bad. Maybe I'll bring that in a little. Should I make that straight? No, it's kind of... I do often muse to myself. Crazy people talk to themselves. Geniuses muse. So technically I talk to myself. I've got a funny feeling I've drawn this guy before. I feel like I have. But I can't find him. I did a search on my computer to see whether I'd drawn him. Maybe I've just drawn him for fun or something, not part of a sort of an organised project. Certainly not ever drawn him professionally. I have yet to have that honour. Although I have had a few online comics, I suppose they're fan comics, but they were sort of like, some of them even got published in the back of the official Transformers comics. Mine didn't, but some of them did. Some kind of like, they were essentially fan comics, but kind of recognised by the people who published the real comics, so that was nice. And all I had to do was ask. Got involved in a few things like that, actually. Technically my first... I swear, there's so much noise out here. 2 days ago there was roadworks, then there was drilling yesterday, and now there's some guy beefing it up and down on a motorbike. What's a git? Yeah, the first thing that technically my first published work, I guess, if you could call it that, was a pencil drawing I did, coloured pencils of Grimlock from the Dinobots, if you don't know. I just drew it when I was still living at home back in the day. I would have been about 20, maybe. and he got in the fan art gallery on the first, I think the first ever UK DVD release box set of Transformers, which was pretty cool. And I've got it somewhere, but I don't think I'll ever go back and look at it. So, I hate what I drew last week, never mind 15 years ago. Oh, I know why I feel like I've drawn him. It's all part of the big conspiracy thing that I don't really want to tell you about because it'll ruin everything. Okay, I've really messed up this. Yeah, I've messed this up. Right, back to square one. You could say it's because I'm talking all the time. You might be right. Damn it. Another slight inaccuracy. So if I delete this point and there's another one, then that means I screwed up. Oh. What the hell? Hell. Right, maybe it was too high. How about that? I'll get rid of this because I'll reflect it later. Dirty cheat that I am. Ideally I wouldn't do this, but it's it does kind of help sometimes. Depending on how he's drawn and who he's drawn, this is the case with a lot of Transformers, I've come to realise. Like, they're just different. They have so many different looks. I kind of get why some people just can't follow it. I only have trouble with one group of Transformers, and that's Constructicons. They're all one colour, well they're all green and purple, and I cannot tell you which one's which. Other than that, I could probably tell you every Transformer from the what's called G1. I'm saying this as if the people who would be watching this don't already know. If you're watching something this geeky, you probably know about Transformers already. Maybe I'll put the curve in there like they have. That side view. That didn't look good. Okay, let's just put his head like that. Apparently, that's kind of a divot, or whatever you'd call it. No, that's not the right word. That bit there, a ridge, something along those lines. And I'll be honest, this is not as a subject to draw. This is not sitting well with my kind of obsession with making everything line up. On the face of it, I thought it really would. So that needs to be roughly the same angle as. Yeah, that's about right. Just chin strap thingy. Starting to really love doing these characters with the little circular bits on the side, and I guess I've got to thank Alex Milne for designing characters that look like that. Who Alex Milne supplied? Well, he didn't supply me with the reference personally, but they're from comics that he's illustrated. Both of these reference images and a couple that I've got on my desk here, which for some reason I haven't used yet. No. There's going to be a little bit of cleanup to do on this here, but because it's not going to be perfectly straight. But I mean, sorry, the straight line's not going to perfectly run into the circle at the angle I've put it in, but that's fine. Actually, it could do with being a bit bigger, or maybe first I should. To do it this way. Body information, text right in the way. Okay, so it will would be better now if I could just connect these like that. It doesn't really show what that's connected to, so I'll just use a bit of artistic license and put this at the back. Because it's got to be connected to something, right? And then something smaller at the back there to just give that impression of this. I mean, that's out of sight, but I don't like it being so empty back there. Put the details in once I've cleaned that bit up a bit. Use this one again as a basis for this shape I'm going to make now. A bit wider. Oops. Let's go about there. And about a dime. So what I want to do now, group them, is it's funny, I've never used the skew tool. I think it's here. No, that's scale. Shear, I think they call it here, yeah. Yeah, never used it. No, it's quite... Yeah, that's about right. That's quite useful. I'll use that again in the future. And then something to connect it up with that. Give it a bit of 3D. Okay, good. Now normally I've already done the nose and the face and all that gubbins, but I purposely left it this time because I really enjoy drawing those bits, so I thought I'd give myself a treat. I'm going to give him a different type of nose. Oh, maybe I'll leave it a minute and maybe I'll give him a boxer's nose. That'd be pretty good. Line stroke. Quite cramped face actually. He's got this thing as well, he's always drinking like an energy drink with a straw. If I draw him doing that, then essentially I've got to draw his hand as well, and that's not really what I'm doing as a rule. This isn't. It's not what I'm here for. see if I can push this out a little. Yeah, that looks okay, I think. Just putting a couple of potentially useful things that I can just get rid of if they don't work. Right. Maybe that eye is going to be too close. Well, we'll see when I do the reflection. Let's have a look at that. Nearly all of his reference shows him with his kind of neck obscured. There's a couple of bits where they're not, but wait, it's not. Sorry, but it's quite basic. The amount of information I've got really to work on. Right, if I have one recommendation for you right now, well actually I suppose that'd be just read Transformers Boss Light, but if I had two recommendations, which because it's up to me, I do, I'm going to tell you to listen to Jesus Hits Like the Atom Bomb by Dripping Daisy. They're a band that came from the sort of ashes of the Polyphonic Spree. The Polyphonic Spree came from the ashes of Dripping Daisy, really. And they're just an amazing band. They never really got their due, because one of the, well, I don't know, not because one of the members died, but they got dropped from the record label as part of a big reshuffle, and this album had just come out. It was like their big kind of, the one that was going to get them noticed, and there's no push on it, so most people still haven't heard of them, but they're an amazing band. Sort of, if I had to describe anyone, they're a bit like Flaming Lips, I guess, to some degree, but they apparently really don't like that analogy. Not an analogy. What's the word? There's a word that's like analogy, but not. Anyway, there we go. Let's clean this up and then we'll reflect it, get some colour in, and see if we can beat however long. Oh, does it say how long I've been going? There is a thing that tells me how long. Half an hour. Okay, good. Well, on a good schedule right now. Or schedule, as I'm supposed to say, being from England, but whatever. This is what I mean about it being a bit therapeutic and kind of satisfying. These bits where you can just kind of clean things up straight away by doing tiny little things like that. Because frankly, when I first clicked that button and all of the shapes kind of divide into themselves, it can look like a real mess. And you'd be forgiven for thinking that I just didn't know what I was doing, but it's all in hand, my friends, all in hand. I'm going to make all of that black. Maybe I will also add that little section there. There's a couple of tiny fiddly bits that's going to be a bit of a pain, but nothing too bad. I'm trying not to do what I did yesterday, which was misinterpret a couple of things that I'd laid down and end up and I ended up kind of combining two bits or deleting something that I shouldn't have. It became a little bit complicated. But I think this is, all in all, maybe despite what I was saying earlier, I think this might actually be the simplest of all of the portraits I've done so far. And it's my favourite colour scheme in Transformers, or in anything really. I've always loved like orange and black specifically, but this is technically orange and kind of dark grey, but that's just as good. My old logo, I used to have like a logo and I had like a brand. Like, I know everyone's got a brand now, that's the thing. But like, obviously my real name isn't Janwar, but it was a nickname, and eventually I spent, I'm just going to call myself my business Janwar, and like I had this whole thing where everything was going to be done in orange and black. Everywhere I went I was going to dress in orange and black. And then eventually I just kind of didn't, but it's still a good combo. Underused as well, not enough design incorporates orange and black apart from the old phone company orange. I'm sure this still does. This is what you want when you tune into YouTube, isn't it? Someone talking about orange and black. It's a thrill a minute, my friends. Okay. What's he got behind? Oh, he's got a big old kind of, well, I don't know what it is. He's got a big old thing behind it, and it's essentially a large version of this. So, if I copy that, paste it behind, send it right to the back. Maybe line it up with the bottom of the image. Oh, what the hell, let's have it in the corner. Oh, I'll tell you what. This is going to do my obsession a world of good. all lines up with the top of the nose. Then just do that for the maybe not. It's not the way I normally like to do it, but that's fine. And make it a bit white as well. There we go. So everything should be done in black and white now. That looks quite obviously not the right angle. I'm still using CS6. I don't know if there's a more recent version of Illustrator where you can rotate it like you can Photoshop or Manga Studio or Clip Studio Pro, whatever it's called now. But that'd be good. Having said that, pretty sure that my Mac can't handle the new versions of Photoshop and Illustrator, so I won't bother. I'll keep with what I've got. No, that's not what I meant to do. Panic in my soul. Okay, so obviously that face looks ridiculous. Let's do something about it. I don't even think we need to split it down the middle. The face, anyway. The eyes are probably alright. Maybe even the nose, but there's just something about that lower. What am I doing? Something about the lower face just doesn't look right. It's probably the nose. The bit I improvised is probably the main problem. That doesn't look too bad. It's because it looks quite a lot like the way Alex Mill draws noses. I never thought of him having a sharp nose though. That just doesn't feel right. Yeah, maybe that's the answer then. Ah, damn it. Reflect horizontal. Ah. realise that that was the furthest part to the left. Sorry, I'm just talking jargon now. Just ignore me for a minute. Or forever. Might be your best bet. So now that those lips look wrong. Let's give a Judge Dredd kind of jaw. Didn't take it far enough. Reflect. Okay. Maybe I need to put some stripes down here. Just the odd one. Right, get rid of that. Bring that down to there. And get rid of one. And this is a nice little trick. Line them all up and then distribute them equally. Should I? Oh, hang on. I'm just going to have like a bit of shadow, and I noticed there were still some lips there. Send these to the back, get that, divide it, and then it won't affect anything in front. Again, I'm talking jargon. I feel like he's gonna need some proper snarly lines. And that's not a thing. Certainly not what you'd call them. For an artist, I know very little technical terms about parts of the physiology. Even on robots, it's important. Okay. No, it's disappeared. So here we go. That, and that. Oh! What's this now? Oh, never mind. Take that handle to there, and then take that handle to there, and we should be good. everything should be black and white except for those, which should be just black with no white filling. And then okay, we're good. Save. I've given him a Judge Dredd kind of upset face, and yet he's like genuinely one of the the smiliest of all the characters. Just realised why it feels wrong. But it's tough. I've done it now. You have to live with it. If there's one thing I know about Transformers fandom, they don't have issues with anyone changing their characters too much. Oh wait. Actually, that's unfair. Transformers fans by and large, I think, are pretty progressive, actually. And this comic in particular is like makes strides to be progressive. In being progressive, you know, it's an article in The Guardian about it, for God's sake. That's when you know you've made it. Say what? Let's do that. Open out a bit. Reflect it. Have it line up with the end of that one, so they'll be exactly the same position on both sides. And then delete that. And delete that. So now there should only be tons of bits. That's fine. Okay, colour. Top colours there are, I think Josh Perez, maybe? No, that'll be Joan Elefante. She's the colourist on Lost Light. Josh Burcham is the guy who did the one at the bottom. I'm a man of simple taste, and flat colours are my thing, especially when they're like that. Combined with Alex Milne's artwork, it was just the best artwork I've ever seen in Transformers. And it's a shame, because I mean, Joan Elefante is very good, but she puts a lot of gradients on things, and she sometimes everything's a bit too sort of dark, and sometimes you lose detail. For me, it just doesn't quite feel right. But still a very good colourist, but Josh Burcham is just another level. Not the band. They were awful. Just get rid of a few unnecessary points here. Just cleans up the drawing. Reduces memory use as well. The fewer points, the smaller the file size. So stuff like this isn't exactly what you want. They're just everywhere. Oh. But what's worse is they appear for each shape, like alongside each other, so you can clear them all off one shape like that, like I'm doing now. But then they'll be back on the next shape adjacent to it, and it's just probably a pointless exercise. I should probably just not be doing this. Yeah, this isn't entertaining. Okay. More grey. Let's get all the grey bits done. Grey, 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 grey. Doesn't matter if it's the wrong grey for now. Grey. No. Grey. Nope. Don't know why I've been so careful. It's all going to be grey as well. That's all grey. And these two. Okay, so now orange. Let's just bring this down, cover all of that. And same on this side. And then these. But they're grey! I hear you cry. Yes, but not for long. Oh, that's going to be grey. Just so used to saying grey now. Orange. This is quite important. Set what the black is so we know that this is our deepest colour. Since there's a lot of grey on here, I feel like that's going to have to be quite dark. Let's have some blue. Must have only drawn good guys recently because everything's been blue. And good guys have got blue eyes, I think, in Transformers. I said this yesterday. Careful not to repeat content, Jamie. Content provider I am now. I don't act like it. That's not what I was intending. Let's have something a little like that but lighter. And then another grey, a kind of a browny grey. For now I'm making this black. Another kind of browny grey. No one's going to notice if that's not there. That's just causing trouble. Tiny little shape. These, let's call those black for the time being. Okay. Now, let's put some shading on this. These are all going to be, I think I'm going to do this one symmetrical. Kind of maybe a sort of a plum colour. Let's try that. And that will need to be the same again but darker, so maybe just dark purplish. Purple and orange. Another great colour scheme. For all your colour scheme needs, follow me. Okay, there I've made an error because there's a point here hasn't made a connection. It's not there, it's here. Yeah. There you go, you see I was just off that. You probably can't see it actually, even though this is, I don't think this is uploaded in 1080p, has it? But that's fixed now. A couple of little minor things there. Let's get rid of that and the equivalent of that side. Do the same on the actual nose shape. All a bit of housekeeping. Let's not make that mistake again. Let's make sure this gets cut. Just putting shadows where I think shadows should be, basically. Oh yeah. Reflect. Are you going to connect? No, you're not, even though you are right next to each other and should, by all accounts, have connected. You didn't because you're swines. There's a shape that I didn't expect to be there, that's fine. I love doing this as well. Just making it an easy light source, which kind of splits the circular part in half, because it's not the easiest doing shadows on this kind of shape. That needs to go over there. So essentially, because vectors are flat by their nature, you've got to put a bit of effort into making the shadows do some work for you, or just, you know, not necessarily shadows, just colours. Like, I'm not really putting any. I suppose it is technically shadow. I don't know. Just choosing darker colours where I need to. lighter ones at the top. Quite a bit lighter, I think, because this is looking like some fairly harsh light. I'm half tempted to put some gradients on, even though I'm not the biggest fan of them. But it'll be the first time I've done it during the series. I'm not sure I want to start now. Another good way of taking a shortcut is to do that. Just divide up a current shape, take a few things away from it, change the colour, copy paste, reflect, that's grouped with something else, so it's not going to work if I do this. What's it grouped with? Oh, it's just, actually that's the size of it. Oh well. Tried to be smart, didn't work. But this is just a good version. And on a smaller scale, I'm going to do that here. Oh no, I don't want to delete that. I want to add a point there, delete that, and delete that, and delete that. Change the colour, copy paste, reflect, and this time I can line it up with something at the other side. It's gone behind it, but that's fine. Oh, actually, I'll just leave that where it is. Bring that forward. Happy days, everyone's over the moon about that development. What was my... there, that was a colour. I feel like these need to be a kind of a point between these two greys, so... maybe take some of that off. Sometimes I feel like my choices of when I do shading, I feel like they're not bold enough, because you can get away with a lot of good stuff with colours if you know what you're doing. You see some amazing colours that, like, you would never have thought of the combinations, but they work and they look pretty sweet. But the only problem is that a lot of them work because there's black lines, and this eventually, when I've finished with it, won't have any. So I'm forced to kind of play it safe a lot of the time. Just replace this eye entirely. Boom. Done. That should be darker. Oh, actually, send that to the back. Choose these, and then choose something very dark. Do the same for the top. That's quite to the back. I always forget this. There's a funny thing that happens if you don't have all of your shapes cut out to be directly, what's the word? If all your shapes aren't cut and you don't have any like shapes hiding behind the other ones, sometimes you'll divide shapes up and they'll just will kind of appear in front of everything else, if that makes sense. So if I'd left that, say if one of these shapes had overlapped the neck, and then I'd put that dividing line right at the front, right at, ahead of all the other shapes, and not sent it to the back, when I combined them, all of that would have come out to the front and it would have been a mess, and sometimes you can't find out where you had them in the first place. I'm sure that didn't make sense. I think we're getting near the moment of truth. Okay, let's just do it. Let's see how it looks without lines. Oh, there's some gaps. Except there isn't. There actually isn't gaps, it just looks like there is. Maybe there is. No, not even there. That's weird. That's just a weird effect that's come up, and I'm not happy about it. What I need to do is I need to come up with another orange. Let's sort of middle point. Don't like that. Get rid of that. What if I did? So if I did this shape and only this shape in that orange, maybe that one. Is that divide enough? Let's give this a different shade. Let's make this lighter, slightly lighter. No, let's not. Yeah, these are a little lighter. No. Now there needs to be more blue in that, I think. Red. Don't like doing this, but I'm going to have to do something to mark out that divide. Just looks wrong. Maybe rather than the light, I go for the dark. darkest. Yeah, that's better. These need to be darker because there's a lot of shadow being cast by that face. In fact, if I get rid of that and that, oh hell, if I get rid of all of these here, the shadow from the chin. This needs to be darker. That needs to be, yeah, about the same. That can probably be a little lighter. And let's just put some shine on that. Yeah. Okay, I'm good with that. Feel bad for making him miserable, but tough. Delete the reference layer. Save it. And what colour should we have as a background? Something that's going to make it stand out. Ugh, that's horrible. I quite like that. And then the light source was coming from above, so let's have a gradient. This is where I don't mind gradients, this is fine. If you're going to have a screen gradient to lighten the scene, then you want it to kind of taper out a little. Don't want it to be too aggressive. Maybe 80% of that. So it's still got the good effect there. You can adjust it slightly. Yeah, if you put like a pure black, all four sliders right to the end, then it just becomes basically clear at the end of the screen gradient. That's really bugging me, that light coming through. I think the best bet is to hold that, get everything control, paste in front. See, that's all the little tiny bits that weren't precise enough. This does look like I've just ruined everything. But if I put this at the back and it's the same colour, oh, so one forward. No. See, that is unusual. Ah! There is actually a line. So select all same fill and stroke. Boom. There we go. It's gone. Happy days. I normally do a slight under lighting, but I don't think I'm going to this time. I don't think it needs it. So, just put my name on it. That's what the point size, 15. And I like to be in white, if you don't mind, thank you. So, thanks very much. If you were watching live, then appreciate it. If you like this and you want me to do more, I'm going to put a poll up. It might have even flashed up of the next character to do. If I don't get a response on here, I'll do it on Twitter. Either way, I'm going to be doing more of these. Going to be doing more every night of this month, barring emergencies. So yeah, thanks for watching. Give us a like, share, comment, subscribe, all that proper YouTube people say, and I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you very much.